My Lord and my God, I firmly believe that you are here, that you see me, that you hear me. I adore you with profound reverence. I ask your pardon for my sins and grace to make this time of prayer fruitful. My Immaculate Mother, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me. As we work our way through this wonderful season of Advent, a time of penitential preparation and anticipation and growing joy, I love to come across aids for our prayer life. Whatever can keep alive our anticipation that this season brings, don't you? When I was a child, every year we had an Advent calendar for our family. Each of us children had our day to open one of the doors or boxes of the calendar. It got more exciting when we started to get the calendars that had chocolate treats behind their doors. Nowadays, there are even Advent calendars for dogs, if you can believe this, that have doors with treats behind them or pouches in which you can book dog treats, such as milk bones, for your canine member of your family to join in the daily expectation. But what about today? Today is the feast day of Our Lady of Loreto, December 10th. After the Novena to the Immaculate Conception, what a great help this has been. We have this new stepping stone, a treat of Our Lady to help us along. The next stepping stone and treat after this one is Our Lady of Guadalupe in 2 days. I can't wait for that too. Pope Francis, a little over a year ago, elevated this feast of Our Lady of Loreto to the universal or Roman calendar that brings with its own special celebration in Masses and in the Liturgy of the Hours. Why did he do this? Our Holy Father assures us in his decree that this will help all people, especially families, youth, and religious, to imitate the virtues of the perfect disciple of the Gospel, the Virgin Mother, who, in conceiving the head of the Church, also accepted us as her own. Mary, my mother, I like it when you give me a stepping stone, a treat, an aid to skipping along this path of preparation that we call Advent. In this time of Advent, you yourself housed our Lord till Christmas Day, when we could finally see him with our eyes. What amazing mystery this is, and how you must have contemplated the days and the hours. We direct ourselves to you, Mary, our Mother, for the angel's message to you was such an amazing revelation and beginning of the special time of your vocation. We could call that a first epiphany, a first revelation. The Pope went on to say that this shrine in Loreto, with its walls of the Holy House of Nazareth, helps visitors meditate both on the words of the angel announcing the good news and on the words of the Virgin in response to the divine call. Your visit, Mary, to Elizabeth occasioned another epiphany, as your cousin was inspired to cry out to you, "Most blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb. And how does this happen to me, that the mother of my Lord should come to me? For at the moment the sound of your greeting reached my ears, the infant in my womb leapt for joy. Blessed are you who believed that what was spoken to you by the Lord would be fulfilled." How beautiful this is. And now Advent, a time preparing for yet another epiphany, another manifestation for us through you, Joseph, the angels, and the shepherds. We can't wait, but we must, for Christmas. We must live that Advent of anticipation in preparation. Jesus, my Lord, you are coming. And as we remember liturgically, it's your first coming. What a miracle that must be for my mind and my heart. I often think, Jesus, people get confused and start to think that it doesn't matter so much about the stones, the buildings, the days we call feast days, those relics of old. I think what strikes them as wonderful, my Lord, is not so much you in your actuality as God-man, Redeemer, my love, my only one, my all, who I talk to now and at any time with or without words. What strikes them, and I must say it strikes me too, Jesus, is what they find as your teaching, the sublimity of the call to love your enemies, to have solidarity with all people, to feed the hungry, and afford the lonely the warmth of our service, of our heart, all indeed of the corporal and spiritual works of mercy. And I know that you indeed find these gifts as given to you every time they are given to even the least person in the world. But I think they feel that this is an disembodied teaching. Some would say that you are the Christ of faith and not a Jesus of history. And so what is this Feast of Loreto all about? It's about many things, but one thing that becomes clear to me is that the little old ladies who love you in the back of the churches, Jesus, who clutch their rosaries and kiss them tenderly, have something going on about that kiss. I ask you for that devotion, actually. It is a connection of piety and love that works its way back to the stone walls at the shrine of Loreto. It is not scandalized by you walking this earth and getting your feet dusty, my Jesus. It is important for us, for me, isn't it, of deepest significance, that you are the Jesus of history, that you really did walk this earth and grew up in Nazareth, in a home of which we still have those stone walls in Loreto. I love the teaching, but truly it is everything that you walked the earth at a certain time, in a certain place, in a certain way. For you did not come just to give a teaching, you came to give yourself. You yourself are the gift. You yourself, in every breath and smile and look, are the teaching. You, God, man, are truly Emmanuel, and everything else comes to light in this. You are the eternal God come down into our world and lift us out of darkness into a relation of love that calls us to eternity and joy. The Shrine of Loreto in East Central Italy is a beautiful basilica in honor of the Virgin Mary with a beautiful statue, but its main attraction is the Holy House of Loreto. There lies these 3 stone walls. It is a plain structure with the door on the north side, with a window on the east, of a modest size. The Angelus prayer, "Behold the handmaid of the Lord, let it be done unto me according to thy word." We can be there in our heart and in our imagination, within these walls. And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. Jesus, I feel the scene. There is so much to meditate in this time of Advent, where the big help to my faith is exactly the sense in all my faculties of that truth, the Word, the eternal Word, whom we tenderly call you, Jesus, became incarnate in that blessed womb of your Mother Mary, and that happened within these walls. I know, Jesus, that you have not so much a teaching to give me as your very self. If I know who you are, and that is such a wonderful mystery, true God and true man, then I shiver and tremble so easily. This doesn't happen when I read theology books as much. I don't get nervous or excited so much then. But every reminder of Advent, decorations, the readings at Mass, the Advent and Christmas carols that we sing, they all bring me face to face with you, with your person. Many years ago, I had the blessed occasion to visit the Holy House in Loreto. I can tell you that the church that encloses the Holy House is pretty impressive. It's a church that houses a church. Yet once inside these 3 walls of that home of Nazareth, what is there to do? What would you do? I'll confess to you what I did. I backed into the walls. I turned around and put my palms against those stones. I got my rosary and held it firm there, too. Then maybe you would do what I did next. I looked around, nobody had sight of me, and I kissed those walls. The memory of these walls helped me to remember so much that you indeed did walk this earth, and that has powerful consequences for me. You are here still in this world. One way of struggling to keep up this continuing meeting with you, Jesus, is to go through your Mother Mary, my mother. I love to go through the litany of Loreto, such a litany of praise of your mother, 55 praises of her. I like to pick any one of them, any one day that fits the needs of my heart, and invoke your mother through it. In my life, which I think is pretty ordinary, I go to you thinking that in your life in Nazareth, where your house was, and to Loreto, where those walls are now, You worked in an ordinary life like mine. Hard work with its concerns, joys, disappointments, and sweet service of others that took place there and around there. May I find you, Lord, along with Joseph and Mary, in my everyday work, ordinary like yours. May that help me skip along this way of Advent as I take this stepping stone of your Mother Mary as an aid. I thank you, my God, for the good resolutions, affections, inspirations that you have communicated to me in this meditation. I ask your help for putting them into effect. My Immaculate Mother, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me.